How's Angelina doing?
She's doing good.
I knew you were texting her.
She was,
Make sure that he does
she
what
said
she
she
says.
goes to town once a month,
Well,
once a
tatting is really just two movements. You're either going under or you're going over. And it's as simple as two segments. You have rings that start at point A, come around and come back to themselves. It closes a ring. Chains start at point A and move you to point B. That moves you forward in your work. Pass those around. I do fairly simple tatting. There's some girls that are doing really elaborate tricks and all sorts of things they're doing. I do basic ring and chain, and I'm content with just making little small doodads. I've done a few collars, I've given them away. I have these two left that came back to me after a death. But for the most part, I just make little small things. And to actually tat, I start you out with two colors. And I realize that this is a little stiff to manipulate, but it'll give you an idea what the two threads are doing together. Whatever's on your left hand, that's what color tatting you're going to get. So I'm going to set up my left hand. I'm going to always be controlling this knot between the two of these. So every hitch that I make, I'm going to make sure that I protect that with my thumb and my forefinger. Now, the first half of the stitch is to go under the purple thread. That throws it up on the back of my hand. Then I go under the white thread. And notice I don't turn loose of it. I just manipulate it back over it. Okay, well that puts my little hitch, and it's purple. I want white. I want white lace. So what I'm going to do is relax that hand. See how lax that is? And then I'm going to pull the shuttle 90 degrees to the right. And that is what they call transferring the knot. Some people will say it popped. You'll actually feel it pop over. So that's the first half. The second half is actually a little easier. This time I'm not going to grab it and dive. I'm merely going to let it fall in a U. And I'm just going to, now this needs to be taut while you're passing it. So I'm going to open my fingertips. And I'm just going to pass it over and back through itself. There's my little hitch, and when I pull this tight to the right, it flips over white.
So it's every other one. You
Right.
switch.
The
Okay.
two together make your double stitch, and that's how your patterns are written. They'll tell you do 3 double stitches and then a picot. What's a picot? It's nothing but a space between 2 double stitches.
Okay, and that's Picot is the over.
No, it's actually another double stitch, and let's show how that
Oh,
works.
okay, I'm sorry.
You're okay. We're going to do, that's 2 double stitches right there. I want a picot next. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to go under and make that flip just like I did, but I'm not going to slide it over. I'm going to leave a space and protect it. You've got to protect every stitch you make or it'll flip back again. Okay, that was an under. And see how it
When you
looks
do the
like
second one, it knocks it.
yeah, the second one sets it in place. Exactly. So when if you lay down your tatting and you don't know where you left off, if it looks like just a little twist of thread, it's the first half.
Okay.
Now I'm going to do my second half, which I didn't grab it, I just pass it through and make my double stitch. Now look what happens when I slide that along. There's my picot.
Okay.
Picots are decorative, and they're also used to join into.
So this is the Picot right here?
It is.
Okay.
That's a decorative one. the joining picots are in the rings. See how the rings actually join together?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's pass that much around. Shuttles. Modern shuttles are pretty much plastic and easy to come by. And I have kits for you.
Yeah.
So you're welcome to pick through and pick a color. I think I have enough lessons left. We'll see how far these go. If you didn't get one and you want one, just send me an email.
I need to have a copy first.
Okay, fair enough.
Didn't you give me one?
And I thought I gave you one.
Yeah, because I know I got a kit.
You're welcome to these.
I have a kit from last time.
Okay.
But I.
Did you get pages though? I'm not sure if you got pages.
Oh, I usually got pages now.
Okay, we'll take those. Good deal.
Yeah.
And there happens to be enough. How about that?
Thank you.
Oh.
If nothing else, I'm sure my husband has books.
He has books.
I'm sure.
To wind the shuttle, all of my shuttles, I leave what I call a loading loop on them, which is the thread is tied to the post, and then a simple overhand knot makes a loop of thread. This makes it easier to add more thread. I don't have to tie to the post every time. Yeah. Here's my new thread I want to add. So I'll make a loop of it. I think it's easier this way. There's a loop of my new thread. There's my shuttle that's ready for more ammo. So I'll put the two loops together and then take the shuttle through itself, its own loop. And that does kind of a weaver's knot. And I can adjust it. I can get real stingy with my thread and put it down to the bottom. When I pull that loop apart, that's what locks it into place. Okay. To wind your shuttle, you're going to look at the underblade. It's shorter. And you're going to wind clockwise. And because thread is so twisty, I might, and I'm not really counting, but when I feel it getting kind of twisty in my hands, I'm winding clockwise. I'll look at the upper blade, the top blade, and I'm going to wind counterclockwise for a few twists. I can feel it getting twisty from the yeah. Now, to avoid all twists completely, you'll walk your shuttle on. So here's my new thread coming off the ball, and I'll walk. Then you get no twist. I'm not that patient. I'm ready to move on to the next thing. And I think I've got a shuttle set up here.
It's kind of like if you had to hand wind the bobbin.
Yeah. So this is a little sample kit like you all have. The first thing you're going to do is pinch the Y where the two come together. And since I've done a little bit of sample, this is my new pinch. It's always on the last stitch that you make. Now, I kind of showed you how to do a chain. I want to show you how to do a ring. Most of your patterns begin with a ring, but I don't teach that because it takes two colors or two threads to make a chain, and it lets you see the two colors and what they're doing. Okay, but to make a ring, you really just use the shuttle. The ball thread's not in play at all. And I'm going to do a join. So you're not ready for that. What you want to do when you're practicing is practice the understitch, 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 understitch. And you'll start to see it spiral. And that's because you're doing half of the stitch. And so it's kind of walking its way around. The shuttle thread is the core thread. And those hitches are walking themselves around. Well, then I'll teach you the overstitch. Well, it's going to walk around the other way. And then we start putting it together. We're doing this kind of fast. It's kind of a fast overview. But to get to the ring, which you're not ready for, but I want you to be exposed to, I'll take enough shuttle thread to go completely around my hand, back to my pinch. Your pinch is very important. So I use my forefinger and my thumb because they're my strongest fingers. I see people that crochet do this business, I'm out of control. See, I'm not controlling my thread. So I encourage you to use your forefinger and your thumb to control the thread. And I'm going to start my double stitches. I'm not going to go super fast. Don't get scared on me. Don't run out. So I'm going to grab the thread and dive under. Now, I'm going to go under this red thread, but I'm going to sneak the shuttle between my finger and my thumb, and then my shuttle. I said that wrong. Let's back up. Let's grab, and we're going to dive under. We're going to go through my finger in the shuttle, then my thumb in the shuttle. Now, with them both being red, it's difficult to see if you've done this right, so you've got to know that you flip that or transfer the knot to the left-hand thread. Then I need an overstitch. So I'm not going to grab it. Look, got a twist in this. This is like size 5 opera. There's my thread expert right there. So my overstitch is done next. I don't grab it, I just make a U. So that's 1 stitch, 2 stitches.
I'm not seeing what you're doing. You're going under the thread
And then over. Let me show you a join because that's where I'm at, and then we can just do another one. So I'm going to grab, I'm going to go under, then I'm going to slide the shuttle in between there, but so that I don't turn loose of the shuttle. This helps your technique so that you get faster. Is I'm going to slide between my finger and the shuttle, and then the thumb and the shuttle, and so I never turn it loose.
Okay.
It's just sliding through, and then flip. Okay, same thing on the overstitch, although I don't grab it, I'm going now through my thumb, then my finger, and then flip. So I have a picot on that previous ring that I want to join into. So there's 2 different joins. I'm going to show you the traditional. I'm going to take the pick into that picot that I'm joining into and grab the ring thread and just make a loop large enough to poke my shuttle through. And see, I snuck some fingers out so that there was room for that thread. Here it is, regular size. And poke it through. You want to be careful that you keep all this business on that side of that picot you're joining into. New people have a tendency to open this up too quickly and then they'll make a knot on this side. You're going to get a knot. You'll never close that ring. So I keep everything on this side of it. Under, over, under, over. That's your join is the first one, and the 2 picots. Then I want 2 double stitches, then a picot. And everything is still sliding. When you're beginning, you want to occasionally pull from underneath away from you and see that your shuttle is still sliding. If it's not, you're going to get a knot and you can't close the ring, which is what I'm about to do, even though I don't have them all in there. I'm going to close it anyway. So to close that ring, I'm going to pull the shuttle and start sneaking fingers out. And I want the end stitches to meet the first ones. So I'll just keep tugging until it's completely closed. One more thought. Okay. So everything goes left to right and over the top, just like rainbow. But now I want to do a chain. What I need to do is turn the work upside down, flip it down like a tailgate on a truck, and then set up for my chain again, just like you began your practice with. This is not in play. And then my chain would go here, and then when I get ready for a ring, I'll flip my tailgate back up, and then that That's ring a chain.
I can't listen to left and right.
Oh, because you said you're left-handed.
Yeah.
Do you watch her or you do it the opposite? That's how I taught my son how to tie his shoes, because I'm right-handed, he's left-handed.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do it, but so.
What I find
said
is
in
most
front of-
left-handed people, you're actually ambidextrous.
Yes.
You're doing a lot more than what I can do. And with tatting, most of the action's happening with your left hand. The right hand's just holding the shuttle and passing the thread. The left hand's doing the magic. So actually, it's an advantage.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. That's cool, thank you very much.
Everybody's tapped out but me.
I think you're still packing, but I think